Welcome to this in-depth training module on the final, yet arguably most critical, phase of the systems development lifecycle, the post-implementation review, or PIR. Often overlooked in the rush to start the next project, the PIR is where an organization truly learns if its investment paid off. We aren't just checking if the software runs. We are evaluating economic value, control effectiveness, and project management success. By the end of this session, you will understand how to conduct a rigorous review that closes the loop on IT investment and drives continuous improvement. Let's start by strictly defining what a post-implementation review is. It is not testing. Testing happens before you flip the switch. A PIR is a forensic examination of the project's success after the dust has settled. As defined in ISACA Guideline G29, the PIR essentially seeks to determine whether the investment in the IT solution was worthwhile. We are asking the hard questions. Did we actually solve the business problem? Did we achieve the ROI we promised the board of directors? It's crucial to distinguish this from UAT. UAT asks, does it work? PIR asks, is it worth it? And did we manage the project well? This review is the bridge between the end of one project and the improved initiation of the next. This diagram visualizes the standard SDLC path. We move through feasibility, requirements, design, and implementation. Notice the diamond at go live. Many organizations mistakenly think the project ends there. It does not. We must allow for a stabilization period, often weeks or months, where users get used to the system. Only then can we conduct the node highlighted in pink, the post-implementation review. If you do it too soon, you measure teething pains, not performance. If you skip it, you move straight to maintenance without knowing if you succeeded. Why do we perform a PIR? We have 5 distinct targets. First is benefits realization. If the business case claimed this system would save $1 million a year, we check the bank account. Did it? Second is project management assessment. We look at the budget and schedule. If we were late or over budget, we need to know why to prevent recurrence. Third, and critical for auditors, is control verification. Design controls often degrade during rushed implementations. We verify they are actually working in the live environment. Fourth is user satisfaction. Are the stakeholders happy, or did we build a system they hate? Finally, we capture lessons learned. This is knowledge management, ensuring we don't repeat the same mistakes in the next cycle. This mind map breaks down the PIR objectives into 4 branches. On the economic branch, we validate the financial promises like ROI. The operational branch focuses on the human element, user satisfaction, and technical reliability. The compliance branch is where the IS auditor lives, checking security and controls. Finally, the project branch looks backward at the mechanics of delivery, budget, and schedule variance. A complete PIR touches every node on this map. Timing and independence are the 2 pillars of a credible PIR. When do you do it? Not the week after launch. You must wait for the stabilization period. Users need to overcome the learning curve, and the initial bug-fixing rush must subside. Typically, this is 3 to 6 months post-implementation, though it can vary. Who does it? Independence is key. As ISACA standards suggest, an independent party, often an IS auditor, should lead this. If the project manager reviews their own project, they have a conflict of interest. They might hide cost overruns or gloss over control failures. We need objective eyes to validate that the organization got what it paid for. This timeline illustrates the correct sequencing. We see the project phase ending at go live. We then enter the critical stabilization phase. Note that review phase, the PIR, does not overlap with go live. It happens distinctively later, after data collection and interviews are possible based on actual usage. This leads into the action phase, where we fix what we found. If you merge review into go live, your data will be skewed by startup noise. Now we dive into the project assessment. We are performing a variance analysis. We look at the original project charter and the final invoice. Did we go over budget? If so, was it authorized? We look at the schedule. If we were 3 months late, was it because of poor estimation or changing requirements? We specifically look for scope creep, unauthorized additions that diluted the project focus. We also evaluate the quality of deliverables that aren't code things, like user manuals and system documentation. If vendors were involved, the PIR is the time to formally grade their performance against the contract and service level agreements, SLAs. This Gantt-style chart visualizes variance. The top section shows schedule. The actual duration bar is longer red than the planned duration. This visualizes a delay. The middle section represents budget. Actual cost exceeds planned cost, indicating an overrun. The bottom section compares scope. By visualizing these 3 constraints, time, cost, scope, the auditor can instantly communicate the project's management performance to the steering committee. Beyond the project management, we must evaluate the machine itself. Does it work? We check technical metrics like response time. Is the system sluggish? We verify control effectiveness. During development, security is sometimes relaxed for testing. We must ensure it was tightened for production. We verify data integrity. Did the data migration work perfectly, or are there corrupted records? We specifically check audit trails. Is the system recording who did what? If the system crashes, does it fail secure or fail open? The PIR verifies that the internal controls designed in Phase 3 and built in Phase 4 are actually protecting the organization in Phase 6. This flow demonstrates the control assessment path. Data enters the system. We check input controls. If invalid, it must go to an error log, red box. If valid, it moves to processing and hits security controls. If unauthorized, it triggers a security alert, red box. Finally, successful transactions must generate an audit trail. In the PIR, the auditor walks through this exact flow to prove that the red boxes, controls, function effectively in the live environment. This is the bottom line slide. Did we make money? We perform a benefits realization review. We take the original feasibility study from Phase 1 and compare it to reality. We look at tangible benefits. Did we actually reduce headcount or inventory costs? We also attempt to value intangible benefits like customer satisfaction. If the project promised a 20% ROI and delivered 2%, that is a significant finding. We perform a gap analysis to understand why. The outcome of this analysis tells management whether to keep investing in the system, modify it to capture missing value, or in extreme cases, scrap it. Here we visualize the ROI analysis logic. We start by comparing the feasibility study projection against actual data. This feeds into gap analysis. A positive variance is a win. A negative variance requires drilling down. Was it cost overrun? We spent too much. Or benefits not realized? We didn't sell enough. Both paths lead to a management action plan. This diagram emphasizes that finding a gap isn't the end. Determining the root cause and action plan is the goal. The output of our work is the PIR report. This document goes to the heavy hitters, senior management and the IT steering committee. It must be clear and concise. It summarizes the findings. Did we meet objectives? Are controls working? Is the ROI there? Crucially, it provides recommendations. We don't just say it's broken. We say, apply patch X by date Y. The report must include the management response, their commitment to fix the findings. This report is the formal closure of the project implementation phase. Without it, the project lingers in a zombie state of almost done. This structure shows the architecture of a good PIR report. At the top is the report itself. It breaks down into the executive summary for the CEO, detailed findings for the IT director, and recommendations. Under findings, we categorize by economic, project, and controls issues matching our previous slides. Under recommendations, we insist on an action plan, a formal management response, and hard deadlines. This structure ensures the report is readable and actionable. We conclude by focusing on the ultimate value of the PIR continuous improvement. The PIR is not a witch hunt. It is a learning tool. We use the findings to update the organization's SDLC manuals so we don't make the same mistakes next time. We ensure knowledge transfer is complete, that the developers have handed over the keys to the operations team. We get the final sign-off from the business owner. Once the PIR is signed and actions are agreed upon, the system officially transitions from a project to operations. The cycle continues, but the organization is now smarter and more efficient, thanks to your review. Our final diagram illustrates the cycle of improvement. We start with PIR findings. These don't just sit in a drawer, they flow into update SDLC standards. This leads to improved future project planning and better risk assessment for the next project. The result is a higher success rate, which generates positive findings in the next PIR. This positive feedback loop is the definition of a mature IT governance organization.